dads F off, you know?
Virtual reality. Hey, I'm Evan Real.
And I'm Caroline Blair in for Danny.
And we have another exciting round of hot reality TV topics to dig into. We got to start off with Tinsley Mortimer. She is engaged, and I could not be more thrilled for her. Also, she's getting married on the same day that I'm getting married, 11/11. So this just feels right. And like this, like I've always felt connected to Tinsley Mortimer. I don't know why. I was not a socialite. She was one of my favorite housewives, so I love that I'm getting married on the same day as her. But I want to know more about this man she's getting married to. What do we know, Caroline?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know anything.
Okay, so his name is Robert Bovard, is what his name is?
Yes. So Tinsley first sparked engagement rumors and that she was getting married quickly when out of nowhere she posted this adorable photo with this mystery man and what appeared to be his children. And it immediately took the Bravo world for storm because I think what you were just saying, I mean, she has been one of those characters on The Real Housewives of New York City where I just feel like she really put her life out there and everyone saw her struggling for love with, you know, Scott the Coupon King, her divorce, like her arrest, all this stuff. And you're just rooting for her. It's funny because she is, you know, she was this huge socialite in New York City. So you think she has it all, but you still kind of see her as the underdog and you're rooting for her. So I mean, not only has, you know, Page Six confirmed that she has her happily ever after with this man, Robert Bovard. Like you said, they're engaged, they're soon to be married. He gave her a massive engagement ring, an emerald rock surrounded by smaller diamonds. And Page Six exclusively reported that it's estimated to be a whopping $500,000.
And you know what? That is what Tinsley deserves. She has worked so hard for this moment. I mean, she is a girl who loves love, and I think she's always just wanted to be married, and she has wanted to find that fairy tale ending with anyone. It could have been the Coupon King, but hopefully this guy, Robert, is a step above the Coupon King. I hope she has leveled up in some way. You know, like we mentioned, we don't really know much about him, but I am just ecstatic for her, and I can't wait to see what wedding dress she walks down the aisle in, paired with that gorgeous emerald engagement ring. I mean, it's giving royalty. Like, you know how like Kate Middleton has her like sapphire engagement ring. I feel like you have, and like even Jennifer Lopez, royal in a different way. She has a green diamond engagement ring. I feel like a colored engagement ring is like really the way to go when you want to let people know that you are that girl, you know?
Oh my God, 100%. I feel like it screams like old money, like wealth, but like true love at the same time because your fiance just knows you. But
Yes.
no, I agree. I mean, I know she took a step back from the public RHONY life, which it makes me as a viewer sad. But I'm overall I'm very, very happy to see it worked out for her. And that's what I'm seeing from Bravo fans too everywhere. I feel like people just wanted to see her happy. And from the few photos that she's posted, it looks like she's very, very happy.
Yeah. So Bravo fans are very happy to see Tinsley in love, living her best soon to be married life. But Bravo fans are also very excited to see the collection of Bravo celebrities and reality stars and actresses that Bethenny Frankel rounded up for this super random dinner. I don't even know where it was. I'm hoping that there were like cameras there and we're going to get a little YouTube episode out of it on Bethenny Frankel's channel because there were so many people. Like my head is still spinning. Okay, first of all, we had Raquel, who was obviously Bethenny's BFF, and her other BFF, Nene Leakes. We also had Melissa Rivers. Who else was it? Larsa Pippen. I mean, it was just this insane amalgamation of famous faces. And then also like Jennie, Garth, and Tiffani Thiessen were there, who apparently like have beef and decided to reunite and squash it at Bethenny Frankel's dinner party.
It's crazy. And immediately I saw this photo and I was like, I need to analyze every single person here and why they're there, because some people, like you said, Rachel, Raquel, and Nene, you know, make sense. They've been on her podcast for, you know, several episodes. And some of these other, you know, reality stars, former stars, what have you, you know, obviously Bethenny's been doing this, you know, quote unquote reality TV reckoning for a while now. So some of it makes sense. But then I see like Larsa Pippen and I'm like, excuse me? Like that was the one that kind of threw me for the loop the most, because she's very much still on our screens. She will be starring in the Real Housewives of Miami next season, and she brings it, you know? So that was my first thought. I hope she's not a part of this reckoning, but I mean, I don't know. Like, what were you thinking when you saw that?
I had similar thoughts because like if someone is associating with Bethenny in this like current climate that she has created, you just kind of assume that they're also on board with the reality reckoning. And so like you said, it makes sense with Nene and Rachel Raquel. But yeah, Larsa Pippen, you're like, wait, are things okay with you on your show? Like, do you have an axe to grind with anyone? Are you looking to get support and maybe some advice from Raquel and Nene and Bethenny? It just isn't making sense to me. I maybe it was just like a fun girls' dinner, but I don't know. It definitely is raising some questions. And then also, I believe, and this is kind of weird because I don't think she's tagged in the photo. Maybe she doesn't allow for public tags, but Amanda Smith from Selling Sunset was also at that dinner, it appears, and she is someone who I think was having fun on Selling Sunset. I don't know, so it does kind of make you think, like, are these girls okay? When you decided to hang out with Bethenny, like, are you okay?
And I'm very interested because there's not a lot of other non-Bravo people that have participated in this reality reckoning. So that's why I think it was an interesting collection of people. But Bethenny definitely teased, you know, being the businesswoman, the entrepreneur that she is, you know, fans can tune in to just be with Bethenny for all the tea and all that. So I don't know. I mean, it was a dinner party, so I can only imagine if it's going to be like Real Housewives filmed ask or like a podcast episode. They all had mics. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a hot mess, but I guess we'll be tuning in.
I'm hoping that for dinner they all just like dug into like a plastic trash bag full of like lobster and crab and seafood, and they were just like making an absolute mess as they were spilling the tea. I also hope that for goodie bags, Bethenny left them all with like a Ziploc bag full of her half-used makeup.
Oh my God. I could also weirdly see like Bethenny doing some sort of like activity, like making everyone like not just like an icebreaker, but like an intense one. Why do you hate like reality TV? Or like what has this ruined for you? Because I mean, I think that's her favorite thing to do during interviews is kind of, you know, prod a little bit in that direction. So whatever this is, I'm ready for the activity, or like you said, the gift bags of her controversial regifted, non-regifted, non-used, reused makeup items.
You know who I bet would have loved to have been at this dinner, but unfortunately she can't because she's in federal prison? Jen Shah. I feel like Jen Shah would have thrived at this dinner, but unfortunately, like I said, she is behind bars. But she's got her ex-pal and ex-assistant and new Real Housewife of Salt Lake City keeping her name in the press because Monica just went on Watch What Happens Live, and she, talking about spilling tea, I mean, she spilled a lot of tea. She apparently Jen asked her to get in on the scamming elderly people scheme.
She told me how her scheme works, and she asked me to be a part of it.
Wow. And you said?
I said absolutely not. And then that's when I reached out to my friend in the Secret Service.
You did.
I thought this story was very interesting. And I appreciate Monica because she is one of those housewives that just will tell you, you know, this isn't the Heather Gay black eye incident all over again. As much as I loved how drawn out that was, it still is. But I love how she's just like, yeah, like I was her assistant. She asked me to be a part of her telemarketing scheme. I said no. I called my friend at the Secret Service, and that was that. She did clarify that this was an open case before that, which I think we knew. I think we knew that, you know, Miss Shah was getting investigated for a while. And so, you know, Monica didn't necessarily, you know, rat on her totally, but she was like, hey, this sounds a little sketchy. And she was a witness, but she, you know, for entertainment's sake, unfortunately was not able to participate in the trial because there was no trial because the last minute, as we all remember, Jen pleaded guilty. So, but it's just like crazy. And I love that she's just putting it all out there. She's talking a little bit about it in the show. And I'm here for it. I think she's just, I love this unexpected element to Salt Lake City. And I think just adds to the chaos that is this season.
No, I find her so incredibly likable. She was such a great casting addition. She is charismatic. She is real. She's ready to get messy. Like, she really just like doesn't care. And maybe it's because she feels like she has nothing to lose. I mean, in this situation, like, she only has everything to gain. So you might as well just like put it all out there, cry over the Louis Vuitton. Who cares? It just makes us love you even more. And the fact that it seems like she sort of like, talk about a vault, you know, a little reference to the Real Housewives of Orange County. It seems like she has a vault just like full of delicious, juicy information about Jen Shah and kind of like about the other ladies too. So I am ready for whatever future mess and magic she brings for the rest of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But I can't imagine that Jen Shah is, I mean, okay, so I think that Andy asked her how the Shah Squad felt about her being a Real Housewife, and apparently the Shah Squad is not happy about it. I mean, Jen must be seething like in her cell, like knowing that she is in federal prison, having to produce Real Housewives inspired prison musicals while her ex-assistant is thriving, becoming this like beloved figure within the Bravo fandom. That just, yeah, I can't, that's more punishment than 10 years in prison.
No, so true. Like, Jen Shah and Elizabeth Holmes are just sitting there like plotting their next scheme against Monica. And what I also love about this is this just seems to me like the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, but like, if this is the most obvious, like, biggest thing, what's underneath all there? Like, she was an assistant, she said, which I don't think, like, was she like a Stuart Smith assistant? I don't know. But it's just like, I need all the stories, and I feel like it's only going to get more and more like interesting with more and more tea and details. Like, if she's willing to say like, she's like, Jen told her about this, I think she's ready to spill a lot more about Jen, especially like her being behind bars. There's not much she can say or do to react.
Yeah. We love Monica for her unfilteredness.
Yes.
We love most housewives who are unfiltered for their unfilteredness, but one housewife recently became very unfiltered, and the fans were not happy about it. That was Miss Tamra Judge telling Andy Cohen to F off and to be quiet.
So okay, but I mean, it's a double standard.
Okay, no. Why are you trying to throw a wrench in it?
Well, because I'm just pointing out that you were calling them losers,
right,
too.
and because she said it, it's like, okay.
No.
Okay, then be quiet.
I was pretty shocked. And I think that maybe Tamra, as you know, she's such an OG of the franchise. She really is an idol and an icon within this Housewives world. Maybe she felt empowered to talk to Andy like that, because I bet you they've had sort of like off-screen moments where the conversation has been a bit more like, you know, a friendly vibe instead of like a boss and an employee vibe. But you can tell Andy himself, he was kind of like shocked too. How did it make you feel? I feel like you're getting rigid right now thinking about.
No, I totally agree. I think Tamra is one of those housewives who does see Andy more as her friend than not necessarily even her boss, but just someone with, you know, more authority over her. And it does make me a little anxious, because I feel like that's kind of like what's gotten her in trouble in the past, is thinking she's a little, you know, above other housewives because of all that she's done for OC and how long she's been on it. And like, don't get me wrong, like, I loved her return this season. I love her on OC. But I gotta say, like, that when she just made that comment, it really threw me for a loop. And even Andy was speechless. Like, he didn't say anything afterwards. And we haven't heard from him about it, which is interesting. I mean, if I had to guess, I'm sure Miss Judge issued a phone call or two to him afterwards. But I mean, while we haven't heard from him talking about it, we've definitely heard from one of his fellow new housewife friends who is on his side, believe it or not.
Yes, no, it was so great. We caught up with Brynn Whitfield, who is on the RHONY reboot, and she said, don't bite the hand that feeds you, and also don't tell dad to F off.
So I love Tamra. She's one of the ones that I have loving. I was like, don't tell dad to F off, you know, like I don't bite the hand that feeds me, so, and I'm being fed very well.